Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hey, welcome everyone. It's so good to be here with you guys today. Thank you for joining us. Well, in case you haven't heard, we are in the middle of a very exciting time here at YEC, and that's opening our enrollment for Become an Enneagram Coach. And we've been able to connect with many of you on personal phone calls. And if that's one of you, thank you so much. We've really enjoyed getting to know you and hearing how we can encourage you each step of the way. And it's encouraging to hear how many of you truly want to impact others with the tool of the Enneagram from a gospel centered perspective. So, if you've joined us earlier this week on a live webinar or connected with us on a phone call or replied to any of the emails that we've sent out, thank you so much. We love hearing from
Bethany,
you.
I was just looking at my sheet. I think I'm getting close to like 100 phone calls. And it's so fun because I never know where I'm going to show up in the world.
Right. Yeah. I was with someone in Paraguay yesterday.
I was in Singapore,
Yeah.
Wisconsin, Minnesota. A lot of people in Southern California. Lots of people showing up from Southern California.
That's awesome.
Super fun.
That's
And it could be
awesome.
rural. It could be people in the city. I mean, it really is fun to hear your stories. And if this is the first time you're connecting with us on a live format, we're grateful you're here and grateful to have some coffee with you this morning.
Yeah.
We're currently, go
Well,
ahead, Beth.
if we can get the slide deck up, that would be awesome. Go ahead.
We're currently streaming on YouTube and Facebook, both at the same time. So wherever you're joining us from,
And
we're
LinkedIn,
super glad that
I
you're
think.
here. What's
Maybe
that?
not. Maybe not LinkedIn. I thought it was LinkedIn too, but
That's
maybe not.
awesome. Well, nonetheless, we're glad that you're here. These live events on social media are always we take a few minutes to warm up. So as we wait for more people to join, Beth, why don't you tell everybody about what you're drinking this morning? That sounded really weird, as if you're drinking alcohol, hitting the sauce early today.
No, I'm not. No.
So let's talk about our coffee ritual.
Yes,
Because we have a coffee ritual.
we do. And our
It's very
son
simple.
has a sophisticated coffee
We have
palate.
young adult children doing what young adult children do.
Yes. And so he makes fun of us.
He does.
But we like getting our Sumatra Starbucks, which that alone is wrong, I guess. But we get the whole beans, we grind them. And then in the morning, it's ready to go.
Coffee maker, a drip coffee maker that does a great job.
Ready to go. And I get up before you so I can sit down and drink my coffee. And I usually just put sweetener, a little bit of heavy whipping cream, just a little bit, and then the coffee.
Ice.
I do put, in the summer, I will put, make it iced coffee.
Yep.
But when it's not summer, I'll because it's so hot, I'll put 2 ice cubes in it just so that I can actually drink it from the get-go. Otherwise, it's way too hot.
That's awesome.
Not more than 2, because then it gets cold.
I mean, I'm a cream sweetener kind of guy, and get up and I'm ready to go. Now, people have been asking, because we've got these mugs here, that we got each other Yeti mugs this year. So
with our logo on it.
These are the only 2 that exist, but people ask us about it a lot.
I know, we might have to
somehow get
kind of like the slide deck here.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah.
So super fun.
Well, we would love to hear from you guys as well. So if you want to tell everyone, what you're drinking, go ahead and put it in the chat where you're at. And it'd be fun just to kind of see those roll in. I'm not sure how well we're going to be able to see the comments from our end, but our team can see them. And maybe they can kind of put up on the screen, 1 or 2 or 3 examples of who's drinking,
where you're from,
maybe it's
what you're drinking.
Maybe it's orange juice. Maybe
matcha.
There we go.
Yeah, matcha.
Matt from Colorado Springs, a type 5.
Oat milk latte.
There you go.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Love that. Look at this.
Whitney, good morning.
I love iced coffee with cream in the morning. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Branley. Branley works for us. I've got a mug of, and yes, homemade cold brew. So Brian is another one of those
coffee
folks.
Aficionado.
They know what they're doing.
They do.
We don't. Nespresso with milk foam. Nice.
What? Look at that. Crazy Swimmer was her handle. That was fun. Hey, Christy. Glad you're here.
Christy, type 7. Yay. About to make second pour over this morning. Nice. Candace, I I friend my beans.
I think she means she grinds her
Oh,
beans.
I friend my beans.
But that we're
Well, hey,
grateful that you friend
your
them.
coffee might taste the
Be
best if you
kind to your
befriend your
beans.
beans.
It's better coffee when you're friends
Right.
with it.
So Keith, coffee time, awesome. Lori, a 1, enjoy black hole bean coffee.
From
And
a
then
local
Melissa
roaster.
had 2 huge cups already. Nice. Yes,
That's right. I love that the framing of that is that what is a cup of coffee?
Aiden, coffee with cream.
Because like it used to be this a small cup of coffee, but now no, we get big.
Anita, drinking organic black coffee from Oregon. Nice. Leslie, coffee I didn't have to make with oat milk. That's awesome. Good morning to everyone. Cameron, smooth roast toasted southern pecan.
Southern
or
pecan
depends
coffee.
on
Okay.
how you say it. I say
Yeah.
pecan. Did your
Yeah,
dad say
pecan.
pecan?
Maybe.
From
I
the
grew up in
South?
Texas, and so
Iced
pecan.
peppermint mocha.
Now that just
Ooh,
sounds like a Christmas
tasty treat.
vacation.
Yeah, I know.
Tasty.
All right, we'll get going here. Let's see.
Chicago type 4.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome. Glad you're here.
Awesome. Well,
hey, well, why don't we dive in?
Yeah.
So also, well, you guys are telling us where you're from. We're super grateful to see you all from the United States. How about how fun is that? Not sure if we saw anyone from outside the country, but so if let's see, where are we at here?
Yeah. In fact.
Oh, okay. Yeah, going up a little bit.
Wait.
We've got a little outline here, and so what is it you're trying to do?
Nothing. We
have an outline to make.
We obviously need to be drinking our coffee.
Hey,
it's a Saturday.
I am that much awake right now. Okay, so if you give me a few more minutes, I'm going to be a whole cup awake.
Yeah. Okay. So today, what are we going to be doing? What are we going to be covering? Well, first, we're going to share our own journey in becoming Enneagram coaches. Second, we're going to share some details on our Become an Enneagram Coach course, which is currently open for enrollment. It's a course that I wish I had. So I developed the course again that I wish I had, and I'm giving it to you guys. And you can see all about it at yourenneagramcoach.com/BEC. And third, we're going to answer your questions about the course later on. Now, if you have questions, here's the big thing we want you to do for us. Okay. When we're on Zoom, it actually has a Q&A button, which makes it really helpful. It looks just like this, but in Facebook and YouTube, they don't have just a designated button for that. So when you have a question, you want to submit a question, please put the word question in brackets before you actually enter your question. And that will let our team know to set that aside, and then they can present that later like they did with the coffee. So we would see it here on screen and be able to answer your questions.
Yep. Our team's standing by to answer your questions as they come through, and then Beth and I will answer them at the end with whatever's left over. So Beth, let's go back to 2014. Really in 2001 is when we found out about the Enneagram, but to when it all started for us.
When it all started. Well, at least this part of the journey, like you said. Yeah. So in 2014, for us, our family moved from Illinois to Nashville, Tennessee to take Jeff's dream job as an executive pastor, which we were so excited about. We were excited to move to Nashville. I mean, like, who wouldn't be? But within about 18 months, that job was suddenly taken away, and we were confused. We were scared. We were lost. We didn't have income, and we had moved to a totally new city. Even though, we'd been there 18 months, we were still newbies.
That's right.
And then we had 2 teenage kids who were going to go to college
soon. Church was, we lost community with that as well.
Right. So it was a very scary and uncertain time. We didn't have a clear path forward. So we were dealing with a lot of hurt and confusion, and just kind of wondering, what is our life calling moving forward?
It is kind of interesting during that time because you were working for a digital entrepreneur at the time, of whom Ian Cron had written The Road Back to You in the Carriage House. So
that's right.
There you were at this one place in downtown Franklin, where Ian was writing Road Back to You, and
I was working part-time.
Enneagram coach.
And what's so interesting is I had been studying, and I'll go to the next slide. So I've been studying the Enneagram, thankfully, since 2001. And so I already had a lot of knowledge. And so I would be considered that Enneagram enthusiast who loved to share it with everyone around me that I could. And that's when I was working for Michael Hyatt and Company. And that's when Ian Cron was writing The Road Back to You, right when I was deciding to jump into what I'm doing today. So it was just like this really interesting moment. And so what I learned during all those years was, well, when we started using the Enneagram in 2001, there were really, there was Richard Rohr's book, A Christian Perspective on the Enneagram, but I put it in quotes
it was
because,
really tough for us because there weren't any
well,
Christians.
and we don't really believe how he believes from Christianity, but then all the other teachers weren't Christian.
That's right. And
And
so we'd have to
yet,
sneak around in like Borders was around them,
yeah,
Barnes and
well,
Noble.
yeah, because we saw the value of what the personality tool had, but it was definitely not positioned from a world perspective that we felt is tried and true, which is the
You mean
Christian
like a
worldview.
biblical worldview?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So you being in seminary, a 4-year MDiv degree, we started just slowly and incrementally looking at the Enneagram. And I would say things like, hey, Jeff, this information is very interesting, but I know that's not from a Christian worldview. Is
Well,
there?
in our little town, it started to have some fruit to it. So we were sharing it with our staff,
Mhm.
sharing it with individuals and couples, and it was gaining some popularity because it was
Well,
so helpful. And then all of a sudden, we're like, wait a minute, we got to reframe all of this stuff.
Right. So we wanted it from a Christian perspective. And if we couldn't, then it's not a tool that we wanted to utilize in the
That's right.
space that we were utilizing it. And so over the course of many years, you helped me kind of dial that in from a theologically accurate
I remember the first
perspective.
presentation we did at Cornerstone to a big group of people.
Mhm.
We decided, you know what, we don't want to keep recommending these books from these people that are speaking from various worldviews.
Right.
We need to make it our own.
Right.
And that's one of the first times we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we really kind of decided all the way back then that this was an amazing tool, but for it to really bring lasting transformation, we needed to bring it through a gospel-centered perspective, because
Mhm.
real transformation is not the Enneagram. It's the gospel.
Yep.
It is Jesus Christ. So that, so back then, I was diving into the Enneagram, and you can see my 2 little kiddos back then, they're now in their 20s. So this was a long time ago. And it really helped me to understand myself, have a closer relationship with Christ, and see how he had saved and redeemed me in the way he created me. But then as I shared these insights with others, they wanted to learn more. They wanted to grow. And so during that hard season, after you lost that job, I dove into the Enneagram even more and was sharing it with moms at the schools, in our small group, in different other places. And as people were more interested, we started to see this new calling emerge, this new path, and it was Enneagram coaching. Now, there really wasn't Enneagram coaching out there at the time. This is many years ago. But I was thinking, I love the gospel, I love discipleship, and I love the Enneagram. Can I put all those 3 things together? And I knew about life coaching. So I was like, well, what about Enneagram coaching? Let's do that. And so I went and got my certification in the Enneagram at this time, and then really wanted to bless others right where they were at and the struggles they had to bring clarity and insight. And what we found was people were astounded by the transformation they were experiencing, but it also helped us financially in a very vulnerable season to put our kids through college and to do things that we never really thought were possible. So God back then was really calling me to trust him, to work with people and individuals face to face, to go get my certification, which was really hard because it cost quite a bit of money and took quite a bit of time away, like downtown San Francisco.
Was it 10 or 14 days?
It was 10.
10 days.
Yeah.
8-hour days.
Yeah. 10 solid days. Solid. It was a lot.
And then you came back with a lot of Enneagram insight.
I did. But no business knowledge.
knowledge.
I even had to ask during the lunch, like, hey guys, like, how much should I charge? And I think I was like, I don't know, like $30 a session. And they looked at me like, what? No, and they threw out a number that I was like, what? Like, this is a thing. This is possible. Like, you can make a living, And so I decided then to trust their insight and to put my rate at $125 a session and to trust
It
it.
is funny, everyone who's here. Beth and I sat in this Mexican food restaurant called Chewy's, and the Enneagram was starting to take off because of the road back to you. And she shared a vision of what in YEC has become today. And I'm like, just hold your horses, just hold on.
I always, even from a young kid, had this very entrepreneurial heart.
Yeah.
And I could see it. I could envision it. And of course, your 6 heart was like, whoa, like, it was, I mean, it was out of nowhere that this came up. So,
Right.
it's understandable.
Our life was a little bit in shambles and a lot it was very foggy.
And I'm like, let's go.
Let's go. We could do this. It's going to be awesome.
So the fun news and the thankful heart that we have is that within a relatively short period of time, I was able to start Enneagram coaching, presenting, helping people, and actually make up the income loss that we had had. And so that was just such a really fun season, seeing life change in my life, our family's life, and the lives of others. And then for us, really, it's working with people like you that really inspires us. It helps us to keep focused and keep going because our heart has always been like back in college, we were with the Navigators. It's a collegiate ministry. And the passion there is to disciple others so that they'll disciple others. And the transformation has this ripple effect. So that's really our passion, is to see the next person experience the gospel. And so by doing the work we're doing here, even though, yes, we're in a business, we're still doing ministry. And we absolutely love it because we get to talk to people, whether in Nashville, Tennessee, the United States, and abroad, to guide them to then bless others. And so for us, that's just a real big blessing. And I hope, and I think that's a lot of your all's passions too. Yeah. So let's dive into how our course is different from a lot of the other courses out there, what we offer you guys, because it's so important to understand what become an Enneagram coach offers you so that you can make the best decision possible. Now, the one thing I want people to realize, what's different than what I experienced, is that our course is virtual. So you don't have to go down, or even Nashville. You don't have to even travel to Nashville and spend all that extra money and travel and expense cost. It's efficient. Our program is designed to give you expert knowledge, but that is clear and easy to understand without losing the profound content that the Enneagram holds. A lot of the teachers that I study under, who I love, they're not always the clearest. And I'm like, can you please just say this in a way that's more easily to understand? So that's what we bring to you. But also it's meaningful. This is a faith-based program that you can use with clients, either from that faith-based perspective or neutral, because sometimes you'll be with clients that need that neutral perspective. It's practical. The course offers you different sections, honing on different coaching skills and business building. And you don't even have to have business experience before. So we will set you up to understand the different path or the different ways that you can set up your coaching business. But it's also transformative. And that's really what people are looking for, right? They want to have that immense clarity about themselves to make better choices and decisions and to see their lives not going off track, but staying on a healthiest path. So Jeff, why don't you share a little bit about how the course is laid out?
Yeah, so the course is broken down into 3 parts. Part 1 is understanding the Enneagram. Part 2 is learn how to coach with the Enneagram. And then part 3 is building your business. And here's what that looks like in more detail.
Yeah, so in section 1, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the Enneagram to give you a comprehensive understanding of the Enneagram structure and a deep dive into all 9 types so that you can confidently master the Enneagram in a quick way.
And the great news about it is that, it is exhaustive. So it's going to have all the information you're going to need. It's the 80-20 rule. 80% of what you know as an Enneagram coach you're not going to share a lot of that in your coaching. Right. It's 20% of it that is the most valuable to clients.
Yeah. But you get it all.
And there's a workbook, and you've got lifetime access. So this is the place that you're going to keep coming back to
Yep.
for your Enneagram content versus just going book to book to book to book, trying to find different insights.
That's right. The second section of the course is learning how to coach and present the Enneagram to clients. So, we're going to train you how to conduct free consultations, how to use our proprietary Enneagram assessment, how to help people find their main
We've
type.
had over 3 million people take that assessment.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
That is incredible. 3 million. So if you're wondering, is the Enneagram still like a hot thing? Is it still trendy? Yes. We have over 1,500 a day take our
1,500 a day.
assessment.
That's right.
So there are a lot of interest in the Enneagram, but we'll also teach you how to set up paid coaching sessions. But not only that, you'll learn how to coach, whether it's individuals, couples, teams, families, and then how to confidently also share the Enneagram, whether it's a workshop or a presentation. Basically, you're going to get all the necessary training that you need to be a coach. Because here's the thing, as an Enneagram enthusiast, what we usually do is we share the Enneagram in a way that's more like a fire hose in someone's mouth,
Well,
and it's overwhelming.
Yeah, people know that experience because the enthusiast, you need to teach people about the Enneagram
Right.
and then learn how to ask questions. And so, but you're typing everybody that you see, you bring it up in all of your conversations with people, and you're probably oversharing a lot of the insights and excitement that you have.
And it kind of shuts people down. I mean, they're like excited at first, but then
It's
they're
just,
like overwhelmed.
yeah, it's information overload. Like
Yeah.
they don't know how to process all that data. We were introducing our son-in-law last night to F1.
Oh, right.
And he just was asking questions,
Yeah.
but you could tell like we were overwhelming him with all the
All the
uniqueness of
details.
because we're excited about
But
it.
had we had a tried and true system of like, oh, if you're interested, let me take you through this
Here's the
approach.
steps.
Yeah.
Here's the process.
And he would have been like, oh, this makes so much sense.
And
And
section 2 of the course lays out exactly what Enneagram coaching is.
absolutely. So tell them about section 3.
Yeah, so section 3 is a really important one. This section is all about building your coaching business or enhancing how you'll use it in your current profession. And in this section, I interview the experts who helped us to get YEC to where it is today. And here are a few of the categories that will be covered in that. We'll go through business licensing and financing, website design, coaching agreements, and how to market your services. And there's so much more that comes into this because we know that there's going to be a variety of ways for you to reach the people that you're trying to reach, to help them to reach the goals that they want to accomplish.
Yeah. I mean, and I love that section because most certifications out there don't include business building strategies or knowledge. And that's what happened to me. So I came back from my training. I was so excited. I'm like, let's go for this. And then I had to basically kind of find all the business know-hows. Now, thankfully, I was working for Michael Hyatt and Company, so I had a lot of resources, but I still had to sit there and learn it all and figure it all out and piece it together. Whereas with our course, you did a great job interviewing people that really show a path for success.
And it's the first step towards business building. Now, in reality, this is all about your customer's journey. And you want to make sure that all the systems are in place to make sure that they are clear on what the next step is. And we want to help you to do that. Now, here's the thing. You're stepping into a whole new world where that we have over 2,000 coaches in our program that are ready and willing to help you along the way, sharing ideas and what's working for them, what's working on social media, crowdsourcing information about types, and just asking basic questions. So like with coaching agreements, all you gotta do is post that question up and you'll have 12 of them by the end of the day. Because everybody is wanting to help one another.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, this training offers you everything that I've learned in the last 18 years, and I'm going to pass it on to you. So I basically created the course I wish I had when I started out.
Yes.
Now, the other incredible news is that BEC offers so much more than just these 3 training sections. So why don't you tell them what's also inside?
Yeah, what's also, you're going to receive a 350-page digital textbook. And so it's going to be a resource that you could have at your fingertips on any device so that even when you're coaching or you're on the road, you'll be able to access it. You'll get an implementation guide to help you think through how you want to complete your course, and we're going to help you get it completed as well. And then you get access to the private BEC Facebook community, which I mentioned a little bit earlier, where we've got over 1,500 coaches in that community that are ready to help you out, from veteran coaches who've been very successful to people who have just started. They're all in that. Now,
and our team is there too.
Our team's there. That's right. Beth
Yep.
and I jump in, and then we also have 3 members of our coaching team that jump in there and answer your questions
Yep.
every day. So you also get a presentation intake form. This is going to be super helpful, so you know how much Enneagram content you're going to deliver and also what price to charge. The mistyping guide is going to be a time saver, because when you're doing typing interviews and they're confused between 2 types, which most of us do, this is going to clarify that, and then you're going to be able to help people find their type. And you'll even get an insightful guide to help you make the most of the Facebook community, which is going to be really helpful since it's been around since 2017 is whenever we started the Facebook community.
Yeah.
There's a lot of resources in there. So all of these benefits come standard when you join the Becoming an Enneagram Coach course, and you can do that at yourenneagramcoach.com/BEC.
So does this sound like something you guys want to do? Of course, like, right? Yes.
That's why you're hanging out with us.
I mean, for me, I'm like, this is a no-brainer. This is so exciting. Well, enrollment is open for the next few days. So please pay attention to what's on your screen. So we close registration on March 7th. So go right now, get your course at yourenneagramcoach.com/BEC. But if you enroll and pay in full, you're going to also receive these 2 bonuses, which I can't wait to tell you.
They're pretty epic.
Yes.
They're pretty epic.
So the first is, if you pay in full, you'll receive a free ticket to our virtual live event called Elite. And this is April 28th and 29th. So during that event, we're going to teach sections 2 and 3. So how to present and coach the Enneagram and the business building strategies. And this is going to be so helpful because you're going to come alongside other BEC students, learn together, and know that you're going to be done with your course at the end of April. So
just to add one little thing. So you will be responsible for completing section 1 of the course on the Enneagram content. Then you're going to come on April 28th from your couch, from your home office.
Yep.
You're going to dial in via Zoom, and we're going to teach you section 2 and section 3. And we're going to do live coaching demonstrations and typing interviews.
Yeah.
It is going to be amazing. So you could literally be coaching May 1st.
Right. So this is just really exciting because a lot of times people are scared to buy an online course because they're not sure, am I going to really do it? We have got you guys covered. So just trust us and the path that we have planned out for you. Mark down April 28th and 29th. Now, it's a Friday and Saturday. We have some people that have asked, well, I work on Friday. That's okay, because we have a replay. So you can watch the replay and maybe show up on that Saturday or vice versa. Or maybe you can't show up live at all, but we have those replays. We want to assist you because, again, we're not just about selling the course. Our passion is that the next person is served wherever they are around the world. And that means that we want you to complete the course so that you're in that position to help other people. Well, not only that, okay, but one of my absolute favorite things that I get to give away is that for those that are registering today, you guys are going to receive one of my favorite things is the Enneagram overview presentation slide deck and workbook. Now, what is this? Well, in our coaches store right now, so our coaches can go to the coaches store and buy this for $997. This is a slide deck that's going to give you credibility and confidence so that you can lead highly impactful sessions for business teams, church groups, community events, workshops. Plus, it has a beautifully designed workbook to help you and the people that you're serving. So you're going to hand those out.
If you've ever thought about doing group presentations, we've designed it for you. Along with a workbook, and you can get started whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
it's
turnkey system.
It literally is the same presentation that I use.
We use it to this day.
Yeah. So guys, I've literally set you up, and you can charge anywhere between $500, $2,000, even more if it's through a business on just one presentation. So guys, this is a substantial bonus. It's my favorite bonus. And it's only for this weekend. So I hope that you guys will get it because to me, it just is so meaningful. And plus, when you do workshops and trainings, people are going to be interested in individual coaching because they're going to see what you have to offer. And you can, pass out like a sign-in sheet and then get people's information and then contact them just to follow up to see if they're interested in coaching.
Yeah, it's very common for us to leverage, let's say, a $500 presentation into a $5,000 total value because we've added individual coaching to it afterwards.
Right. Right.
Well, we have one more special gift to tell you about, and but you won't see the details about this on the landing page. It's a secret offer just for showing up here today. And as a thank you for joining us, hanging out, drinking some coffee together this morning. And what this is a private in-person coaches hangout with our team here in Nashville on April 15th. That's right. That's our backyard there. Our team came over in the celebration of the launch of our most recent book, More Than Your Number. Over the past few years, we've desperately missed getting to connect with our coaches in the community. And so we're going to have this in-person event hanging out at the McCords April 15th. So if you enroll in the course today before 3:00 standard time, Central time. Yeah, it's not standard time. What's standard time?
It's like
it's
everyone's
my time. My time standard. Hey, you're going to automatically get an invite to this in-person event on April 15th.
Yeah.
This is a rare opportunity to meet other Enneagram coaches face to face. We're in 30 plus countries now. So you're going to hang out with the team. You're going to hang out with other coaches. It's going to be super fun.
Hang out in Music City. I mean, Nashville is
a great
awesome.
place to come and hang out. That's right. So Beth and I can't wait for
Yeah.
it. So if you want to attend that event, go ahead and go enroll in BHC right now.
And gosh, you're going to get the slide deck. Let's go.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, okay. So I want to answer your questions. We want to make sure that everything that you're hearing today makes sense, that you have clarity to make those decisions, but I want them to know that we have a 30-day money back guarantee. So you have nothing to risk and everything to gain. Jump in, take the course, see what it's like. If it's not for you, email us, let us know, and we'll refund you within that 30-day window after purchase. So we thank you so much, guys, for joining us. So now we want to kind of open it up for a Q&A session. So if you have questions, go into your comments section, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, and put in brackets questions. So my team can know that this is a question versus just fun chit chatter. And then they're going to put on the screen questions so that we can then answer your questions here live. All right. We've got about 50 people joining us, which is so exciting. I'm so thankful for you guys being here. So team, if you have any questions, go ahead and throw the first question up. Here we go. You want to say
it? Jessica, how do you answer someone who quickly dismisses the Enneagram as something of the occult? Well, that's a great question, Jessica. You can go to yourenneagramcoach.com/origins. And we have an article there. Plus, we spent 3 podcasts with our director of coaching, Tyler Zach of Gospel for Enneagram, and then Beth and I, where we talked through the different uses of the Enneagram. That's awesome. This platform that we're using, they just threw that link up there. That's so cool.
Thanks, guys.
But when you buy the course, we didn't mention this, but when you buy the course, you will actually get Tyler Zach's new course that comes out in April on the real history of the Enneagram. So you will be able to address that question with confidence. And that's going to be coming up in April.
I love our team because they're probably like, oh, no.
Yeah, that's right. Great. So what else we got?
Well, also, I want to say that course that Tyler Zach is going to offer, that we're going to give to you for free by enrolling, is so important. He has been doing research on the origins of the Enneagram because there's all of this whirlwind, but he has found new substantial information that debunks the things that are being said. Guys, we are going to set you up with the real information through Tyler Zach's course, which is actually coming out in April. And so we've commissioned him. We've said, hey, we need to you got to get this course done so we can give this to our coaches. And he's like, I'm on it. So he is.
So whatever package you purchase,
and it's a master class. Now you can go to his YouTube, Gospel for Enneagram. He has an hour-long one, but the one that we're going to be giving you is a master class. So it's much more thorough than even just that 1 hour. I can't wait for you guys to have it. You will feel empowered to move forward. All right, next question.
I have an IQ or EQ9 practitioner certification. What are some difference you could expect with the YEC training? Well, this is more than just facilitating an assessment. So we're actually going to teach you a coaching strategy as well as how to do presentations for this. So I'm not entirely sure about what that certification entails, but I do know that you're going to be very prepared for building a coaching business, and with the resources that we provide in our certification network, where we have our directory, where we bring clients to you, potential
Mhm.
clients to you, as well as some of the other professional development stuff. Like, we can help you get your
Yeah.
coaching business started, and you can continue to use the
Oh,
EQ9
yeah.
assessment.
Yeah, I love integrating a lot of the different, teachings that I've
Mhm.
experienced from different areas and just really incorporating it to fit how I coach and how I am best equipped. So there's that, but also we offer this through a faith-based perspective. So and again, you can use it with your clients or the people that you're working with from that faith-based perspective or neutral. It's a lot harder to take something that's neutral and then theologically get it right if that's important to you. So we've done all that heavy lifting for you. So if that's something really important to you, we are really going to offer you some incredible resources to walk people in that direction. And like Jeff said, in our certification network, once you're done with the course and you desire to be certified with us in our certification network, we give you so many different resources. And if we want, we can kind of lay that out here. But one of the biggest things is we give you access to what are called guide sheets, and this walks each client through the first 5 sessions. So basically, the guide sheets guide you as you guide your clients in exploring their main type. So it's the foundation to build everything else off of. So you'll have license use to those, and there's both a faith base and a non-religious set for all 9 types, 5 sessions that are unique.
Cool. All right. Next question. Oh, that's a great
Oh, good question.
question.
How much do
Yeah.
I charge?
Well, depending upon there's a few different factors. One, the community that you're in, the audience that you're seeking to help, but then also your own credentialing that may differentiate you from other people. But most of our coaches charge between $75 to $150 per session. And then sometimes presentations can be free if you're pitching coaching
Mhm.
services, but you can do presentations for $250 to $5,000 for like a whole day presentation or team training. So
Yeah.
there's there it varies
But
depending upon what your training
when
is
you're a
and your
part of
community.
BEC, we want you to then jump into the Facebook group. This question happens all the
Mhm.
time because each circumstance is different, right? So, one, if you are part of our certification network and you have a profile page on myenneagramcoach.com where our coaching directory is, you're going to get leads from around the world. So we want you to set your rates. And then if you feel the desire or the need to discount it, you can totally do that. But just have a going rate in what you offer. But then when it comes to presentations, come into the Facebook group community and let everyone know I've been asked to do a 2-hour workshop for 10 business people at this place, and this is what they want me to cover. How much should I charge? By giving us a good bit of information, a lot of people, seasoned coaches, and our team will chime in with what they think might be the best way to go about it. So that is invaluable.
And for individual coaching, we cover this in our webinars, but for individual coaching, we sell coaching packages. And so it's a 5 sequence coaching sequence. And so if you charge just $100 per session, it's usually a $500
Yeah.
value.
And then we set you up to continue coaching, but
40% of people who pursue Enneagram coaching will want to continue with you.
and we want to set you up in that way. But the great thing is those first 5 sessions are really laid out for you. So all the heavy lifting, all the work that you might have to figure out for each Enneagram type has been laid out for you. So we really want to support you as you move people into that next season of coaching.
Cool. All righty. What's the next question? So my biggest problem is not knowledge of the Enneagram as a 5 I'm all about it, but rather starting a business and getting clientele. How can YEC
Mhm.
help?
Yeah.
Well, the platinum package of the course that you'll see on the landing page, yourenneagramcoach.com/BEC, is for those who want to build a business. And so we include 5 additional bonuses. One, you get to join a 3-session mastermind with our coaching team about getting your first client. We're also going to have a master class about growing and scaling your business. We've got another downloadable PDF about how to find your first client. And then there's a business building checklist. And I forgot, what's the other one thing?
Watching me coach 3 sessions.
That's right. Additional sessions so that you know what how to coach people, so you have more confidence there. But then if you join the certification network, you'll be listed in our directory, which is at myenneagramcoach.com, where you'll start to receive referrals from our email list, from our podcast, and from just our website, where you're going to start getting the possibility of clients, both presentations as well as individual people who want coaching. There's a lot of opportunity that we provide people to help you to achieve the business that you desire.
Yeah.
Good.
Great. And also, if we answer your questions, but you still have you're still a little unclear, or you need more information, email us at info@yourenneagramcoach.com, and we'll be happy to answer those questions, or maybe even set up a 15-minute call to finish answering questions.
Yeah, if you send a request to info@yourenneagramcoach.com, you can just request a 15-minute meeting with us, and our schedules are open next week to talk to as many people as possible. So we'd love to connect.
All right, next question.
What you mean when you say you do not believe what Richard Rohr believes? Oh, that's really good. Yeah, so Richard Rohr comes from a Jesuit Catholic theological tradition, and our training was different denominationally, and so we're not suggesting that somehow we're not questioning his faith. It's just that we have a different theological perspective as to how we use the scriptures. That's all it is.
Yep.
We have great appreciation for Richard Rohr's works, and cool. What other certifications do you recommend or endorse? That's great. It really depends upon what you desire.
Yeah.
Having an Enneagram coaching certification is more than enough to have a coaching business. But then, some people choose to go and get a life coaching certification after, which can be helpful.
Yeah, but we have lots of people that do like health coaching, business coaching. So really think of Enneagram coaching as kind of a foundation to then build whatever niche or passion or skill set that you have. And again, you can just be an Enneagram coach and make a really good living just with that. But if you do have a passion in a certain area, feel free. And I encourage you to get additional training in that area and then incorporate the two together.
Good.
Next question.
Where is the link to sign up?
Great.
Hey, Lance, good to see you.
Yeah.
Glad you joined us today.
Yeah. yourenneagramcoach.com/BEC for become an Enneagram coach.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do we offer scholarships? Yeah, we have a very limited category for those who have financial need. And so you can email us at info@yourenneagramcoach.com, and our team would be glad to fill you in on that.
Yeah. Next question.
Will that course be available outside? Oh, you're talking about, I'm assuming that you're talking about.
It will be. So if you go,
Tyler's X course.
if you go to gospelforenneagram.com, I think I just got an email today kind of announcing
It'll go on
it.
sale April 1st.
Yeah. So,
And that's not an April Fool's joke.
yeah. So you can head over there. If you don't get the course and get it for free with us, then you can head over there to Tyler's webpage. And he's excellent. He just stepped away from being a pastor to do this full time and to also support educating his son, who's on the autistic spectrum. So I really am proud of all the things that he's doing.
Cool. Is there Enneagram for children? That's a good question. There's going to be, but why don't you answer that question?
Yeah. So, Enneagram for children is a little tricky because the Enneagram is all about why you think, feel, and behave in particular ways. And we can't tell a kid what type they are, even though we might think we know. And trust me, I was starting with the Enneagram back when my kids were 1 and 3. And so when they were in elementary, there were some types I was getting to feel pretty close on. But again, we don't know their why. And I think a lot of parents get surprised later when their kid is like, no, I'm really this type. So we don't want to parent as if we know their type. We can be curious. We can ask great questions. We can guide them the best that we know how from what we're seeing and observing. But there are some ways of just kind of knowing how kids relate from a particular bent and have maybe an idea, hold loosely, maybe 3 or 4 types. And there might be 3 or 4 types that you're like, I know my kid's definitely not that. They're showing no representation of that type. So it's kind of a loose kind of assessment that you can use. I think the biggest thing, and I'll hand this over to you, the biggest thing is not so much knowing your kid's type.
It's knowing your own type and how that shapes your parenting. Because without knowing it, we're actually parenting our children through the lens of our type, and we're creating little me's.
Yeah. I want to create, as a 9, little angels that are
Good.
kind and empathetic and are just, accommodating to the world, right?
I mean,
and quiet.
as
And
a symptom of that, just think about what are the things that you pray about for your child.
yes, that was so fun with our team.
That's right. And we just started to realize that the 6s and 9s and 8s all pray different things for their children.
Yeah.
So
Our type 9 teammate was like, yeah, I'm praying that my kid is just sweet and kind and thoughtful. And then our type 8, she was like, what? I pray that my kid has a no, that they will stand up for justice. And I was, we were like, wow, like we really parent and see the world from different places. They're both very legitimate, have great insights and ways of parenting, but it's very different. But if we don't know our own story, if we don't know how we see the world and how we are trying to shape our kids in healthy ways and good ways, in ways that God has asked us to, but also ways that are unhealthy, we can't actually parent them in the best way that would suit them.
they're super funny. Little short story for you. But my son, young adult, 20, was wanting to buy a new surround sound system, and he had the money for it. And I had gotten the same system, and so he was wanting to get one for himself. But he kept waiting. I kept waiting, kept waiting, and I'm like, Nate, what? Just buy it. Like,
Yeah.
you've got the money. He goes, I can't. I'm like, why? He says, because I've got you in my head. Well, I mean, it's true. Like, there's this overlay of our parents where they've trained us to think like them, feel like them. I mean, what behaviors were allowed in our family? How do we
Yeah.
approach emotions? How do
Because
we
you're
approach
6, so you
relationships?
think through all of the possibilities and
I'm
think
thinking
through
this
it.
is the best thing I have to offer him,
Yeah.
and yet it's also the very thing it can
Because
stumble.
if you had been maybe a 7, he would have maybe been like, well, my dad would say, go for it. Like, be spontaneous. Like, you can do it. And so each parent's going to come from a different perspective.
right.
So I think the biggest thing that we want to offer in the space of parenting is more to learn about yourself and your own story. And the more that you do that, the more you're going to be able to see your child for who they are and how God created them, and to really bless them no matter what stage of life or what season of life that they're in, whether healthy to unhealthy, because you've done your own work.
Good.
Next question.
Do we get both the faith-based and non-faith-based guide sheets? That's right. If you join the certification network, you get both.
Yeah.
And so that'll be 2
License
sets
used.
of 45 guide sheets.
Yeah. So every personality type that comes your way to be coached, whether they're a believer or, a different faith, you will have a set of guide sheets to walk them through their first 5 sessions.
And even the presentation slide deck can be used both in
Both,
faith-based
yes.
and non-faith-based settings.
Yep. We've set it up so you can do it in both ways. Yeah.
How much is the cost to go to Nashville and learn I vibe too high?
Well, we would love for you to join us. I don't know the cost because I don't even know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But Nashville is so fun. It's beautiful. It's going to be really beautiful when you come because it's going to be in the high time of spring.
Oh my goodness. That's going to be epic.
Yeah. The hills. I mean, yeah, there's so many great things that we can we'll probably put together a little cheat sheet of places that you might want to go and things you might want to do.
Yeah, that picture that we had earlier of our book launch, that's in our backyard.
That's our backyard.
So it's it's beautiful out there. And so we're going to have a fun time. And you can do so many other things while you're here. And we'd love to help you brainstorm some things if you like.
Yeah. If you need some, you can just email us at
We're just
info@yourenneagramcoach.com.
15 minutes from downtown Franklin, which is just super, super cool area.
Really cool.
And then 30 minutes.
Yeah. Franklin is a
Nashville.
great place to land if you are coming to be with us, because you'll be about 20 minutes from downtown Nashville and about 20 minutes from us. But then you'll be real close to downtown Franklin, and it's just a great place to be. So that's where I would
Super
land
fun.
if I were
Yes.
coming in.
Cool. Any other resources available in any other language? There is a little bit of possibility to do things in Spanish. We just during the last couple of weeks have found some resources that might be able to get us across the line to translate some of our content into Spanish.
We just haven't had the team or the resources to really get it across the finish line for that. But yeah, we'd love to.
Yep.
Next question.
What's a good age to start? My son is 4 or 5 years old. I'm 4. Oh, you mean, is that a good age to start
coaching
with the Enneagram? Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know if okay. So we're going to assume that's what you mean. So your son is a 4 with more of a 5 wing, and you're more of a 4 with a 3 wing. Gosh, that's a great question. We did have a friend of ours who in their high school, they had that Jan term, or I forgot what it was called, but it was like 2 weeks of doing some like independent study. And so he did this course and he really thrived on it and learned so much. So, and becoming a coach, I would say, one, it depends on how mature they are, right? Like, and are they really invested in this? And are they going to take it to a place where they can earn back at least the investment? At least that's what I would say. Now, you guys can do what you want, but I would say probably in that, 19, 20-year-old mark.
The Enneagram, one, it does help us as it relates to parenting our children, because it offers us questions that we can ask that are different than just behavioral questions. So whenever our children do something, we ask, what motivated you? What was your hope in saying those things to a sibling or making this decision in that situation? So we may not be able to identify what their Enneagram type is, but we can begin to disciple them. When you think about how Jesus speaks of the heart, that out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks, or James 4, what causes fights and quarrels, that they come from the desires that wage war in your heart. And asking them, one, what's your why? What led to your behavior? But number two, what are healthy and unhealthy expressions? And did it accomplish what it is that you're hoping to accomplish? And what might be a better way of approaching it next time? And that is just a totally different conversation than telling your children what you would do in that scenario. And that's always going to be through the lens of your type. They have different gifts and different liabilities because of their specific Enneagram type.
And I would say, being both 4s, but having different wings that you lean more towards can be a really great asset for you guys, because you're going to know each other's weak spots, right? Because you both experience it. And therefore you can encourage one another to move in the healthier direction. So what I mean by that is your son, who has more of that 5 wing, can be the person who's gathering a lot of the information and the knowledge. And then you, more with a 3 wing, can set up those business ideas and strategies and put it more in a organized, efficient form. Also, the both of you moving towards that 1, where you will be more systematic in your approach, but also the 2, that you guys encourage each other to focus on what others are needing and spur each other on, knowing that, man, 4s have so much gifts and talents to be able to coach people and to hear them for long periods of time. 4s, you guys are like the bodybuilders of listening to emotions. Like, you have the strength and the capacity to listen and to be there for people. So you guys have a lot to offer, if that's even really the question you're asking. But I think that could be a really fun and dynamic duo, really.
Hey, well, it looks like we're done. Oh, we got one more question. Cutthroat beast. That's an intense handle.
Yeah.
Can other numbers besides your core type, like wing or tri-type, integrate and disintegrate? Disintegrate, not disintegrate. That's a different word. Actually, we cover this in our new book, More Than Your Number. We talk through the Enneagram internal profile. and how each of the connecting types show up in both healthy and unhealthy ways. So go pick up the book, because you're exactly right. Both wings, we have two wings, not just one wing, that they can show up in unhealthy and unhealthy ways, as well as the other two connecting types.
Yeah. And it's so important to know that, yes, you are your main type in the sense that it's the driving force behind why you do what you do. But more than that, we also have these connecting types that chime in and really are trying to give their own perspective. And if they're not so healthy, it's going to influence in a way that's not helpful. But when we're leading out of that beloved part of our heart, those parts of us will chime in from a very healthy manner. And that's kind of what I was saying with that mom who had a son with a 5-wing and her with a 3-wing. They can access and utilize these connecting parts and encourage each other to use their connecting parts in really healthy and dynamic ways. So yeah, so go get More Than Your Number. It's our new book.
That's awesome.
And it's got all that you need. We also have a course on it called Enneagram Internal Profile, or EIP, in our our resource or store section of our website, that you could get one just for your type, and we'll walk you through it.
Good.
All right.
Do we have any other questions? Okay. Will Michael W. Smith join us? That's
that
funny.
would be awesome.
That's right.
We do have a friend of ours who's really good friends with him, but I haven't met him.
We haven't met him. I'm not even sure. I mean, who are the guys that live around downtown Franklin? There's the Christian rapper guy.
I don't.
He hosted that conference for Nate that Nate went to at Trevecca.
Oh, Toby Mac.
Toby Mac. We know. Yeah, Toby Mac's around, and then
Amy Grant, it's Nashville.
Chris Tomlin, Chris Tomlin's around.
I don't know.
Crazy.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see. Maybe we can ask. No.
We can ask. Hey, Michael, come on over.
Yeah.
Is this course different from the BEC course?
Mike
Took a year ago.
Kasparian.
Hey, Mike. Good to see you, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Nope. This is the same course.
Same course.
Yep. So Mike, he went through our course.
I think he was number 2 in going through it the fastest.
Right. That's right. Yes. Oh, Mike, good to hear from you. Thank you so much for coming.
Best way to introduce the Enneagram in a business setting, not knowing anything about each person's faith.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that is exactly what that slide deck is for. So the one that if you were to purchase today or this weekend, that you will get, it is laid out for anyone. It's kind of an on-ramp system to give an overview of the Enneagram that's not overwhelming, but just gives them just enough information, but also helps them to discover and understand the 9 types from their type's core motivations. But they walk away with a workbook that has even more helpful information. Again, very simple and straightforward, that they can use time and time again. So it's really designed for anyone, honestly, but businesses, you can walk into any business and utilize it there as well. So
I think I actually hung out with Anna.
Oh, fun.
If I remember, I think she's in Michigan.
Yeah, because I remember you saying Ebling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember the last name.
Yeah.
Well, Anna, here's another thing. So there's a gentleman, his name is Travis Brayberry. He wrote the book Emotional Intelligence 2.0, and he talks about what emotional intelligence looks like. And it looks like it's personal recognition or ownership of your own life, as well as personally managing your own interior world. But then there's also relational understanding and relationship management. The Enneagram just gives you vocabulary and a specific tool to be able to accomplish those 4 things. And, I was just talking with another person who had an opportunity to present at a manufacturing facility, because the amount of injuries has substantially increased since COVID. Why? Because people aren't focused. And they were looking to see if the Enneagram would be a helpful tool to be able to help people understand themselves and understand others for the sake of just productivity and making sure that injuries weren't, that they were able to focus to prevent injuries. And the Enneagram can help with all of these things. And it also helps with relationships among team members and relationships among reporting relationships. So the Enneagram applies to all of that, and you're going to have all the resources necessary to be able to help an organization out.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. We got about 1 more minute. So let's see how many questions we can get in that 1 minute. If there are any more, maybe there's not. We shall see.
Okay. There it is. That's awesome. That's the cue.
Well, okay. So thank you guys so much and if you can put up the slide deck one more time, I just want to put up the slide right here. Okay, so again, reminder, these are really important reminders, is that if you enroll today by 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, you're going to get a free ticket to join us at that private coaches hangout here in Nashville, Tennessee
At
on
our house.
April 15th. You'll also, by purchasing today, get that professionally designed slide deck presentation and workbook, and you can earn back your investment really quickly with it. But also, if you pay in full, you'll get that free ticket to Elite, where we're going to take you through sections 2 and 3 on April 28th and 29th. So, by the end of April, you can take your certification assessment and become certified if you so desire. Now, if you can't attend those live, no problems. We will give you a replay as well. Now, if you want to start your dream job and you want to make an impact in others, we are here for you, because becoming an Enneagram coach sets you up for all of that. So go to yourenneagramcoach.com/BEC. If you have any questions between now or the end of this weekend, because don't miss out on these special bonuses, email us at info@yourenneagramcoach.com. That's info@yourenneagramcoach.com. We're here to support you. Also, if you want to set up a 15-minute call with one of us, you have extra questions, let us know in that email and we will set something up for you. But we just want to thank you guys so much for joining us today. We hope that this has been helpful. We hope that you have a wonderful weekend. And more importantly, we can't wait for you to join BC, to be a part of those 1,500 coaches in our Facebook group so we can cheer you on and support you each step of the way. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.